Okay, time now 3 minutes after 4 p.m. On the Friday, 24th June in Japan Standard Time. Please allow us to start the seminar. Welcome to the another edition of the World Bank online seminar. In fact, today is a special edition. We are having the 13th JSDF, Japan Social Development Fund Dialogue. On the occasion of the visit by our team from Washington, taking care of the trust fund, having the annual policy conversation with the government of Japan. My name is Koichi Omori. I'm Senior External Affairs Officer of the World Bank, based in Tokyo. Let me first of all make a short housekeeping announcement, switching to my mother language. 皆様、こんにちは。世界銀行東京事務所大森でございます。今日のセミナーは、同時通訳を英語から日本語の音声で、WebEx でご参加いただいている皆様に提供しております。WebEx の画面上の、左下のところに地球儀のマークがあると思いますが、これをクリックしていただくと言語の選択ができます。で、日本語をお聞きになりたい方はそこで日本語を選んでいただくと、日本語での同時通訳音声を聞くことができますので、どうぞご活用いただければというふうに思います。ありがとうございます。Okay. Also, one more housekeeping announcement. I'm sure those of you who are attending this seminar by WebEx, we have actually nearly 80 people registered to this event. Have a question to the speaker as you are listening to the presentation and discussion. Please post your question anytime during the dialogue on the Q&A section on the WebEx screen. Or in fact, you can directly send your question to me because all of you received the WebEx links from me yesterday or today. So just responding to my email with your question, then I'll read your question during the Q&A and discussion time. So our speakers will respond to your question and point. Thank you very much. First of all, we would like to have opening remarks on behalf of the World Bank Group. We have Doug Lehneman, who is the Director of the Trust Fund and Partnership Relationship of the World Bank. So I'd like to ask Doug to come in to give us opening remarks. Doug, please.
Thank you, Koichi, and good afternoon, and welcome to the Japan Social Development Dialogue Series. As Koichi said, my name is Dirk Reinemann. I'm the Director for Trust Funds and Partnerships at the World Bank. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Director Masashi Tanabe of the Multilateral Banks Division of the Ministry of Finance and his team. We wish to thank the government of Japan for its continuing commitment to the Japan Social Development Fund and to making a difference in the lives of the poor and disadvantaged members of society. The JSDF was started back in 2000 by the government of Japan, and the World Bank is a unique grant program that aims to improve the lives of the poorest and the most vulnerable groups in society. While the JSDF was established immediately after the Asia financial crisis, over the past 20 years, it has extended support to innovative and sustainable projects across the world. And this objective remains relevant today as the world confronts multiple challenges, multiple crises of food and fuel crises, conflict and fragility, natural disasters, and climate risk. The poor are usually the least able to cope with adversity and are at great risk of falling even farther behind. It is my privilege and great pleasure to welcome you all here today to learn about this innovative project to improve child nutrition among rural disadvantaged villages in Vietnam. As administrator of the JSDF, we enjoy very much showcasing some of these projects funded by this program so that we can all learn about the results and draw insights from those who were directly involved in implementation. A laudable feature of this project, for instance, is that it was implemented through strong and effective partnerships. Save the Children, in close partnership with the Department of Maternal and Child Health in the Ministry of Health, helped to establish community networks among mothers from ethnic minority groups in the northern mountain regions of Vietnam. In turn, they built provincial platforms so that the Department of Health and Department of Agriculture and Rural Development could coordinate better with these mother-to-mother networks and other local authorities in introducing project interventions. And finally, I understand that Save the Children Japan also played an important role in the project, and I'm happy to see two representatives of Save the Children Japan with us here today. Welcome. Truly, we need to work together to deliver lasting results for these children and mothers. As the popular African proverb goes, it takes a village to raise a child. We're delighted to have you all with us to participate in this JSDF dialogue, and I encourage you to ask questions, share your views to enrich our conversation. And without further ado, I'd like to call on Tanabe-san to give us his opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Doug. So please allow us to welcome Mr. Masashi Tanabe, the Director of the Multilateral Development Bank's Division of the International Bureau at the Ministry of Finance, Government of Japan. Tanabe-san, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to JSDF seminar. I am Masashi Tanabe, the Director of MDB's Division of Ministry of Finance, Japan. It's a great honor and pleasure to be a part of today's event. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dirk and the World Bank team and to all the institutions and people for their contribution to JSDF activities, including the government of Vietnam and the Save the Children. Also, on behalf of the government of Japan, I would like to extend my heartfelt greetings to all those participating in this seminar. As Doug also explained, Japan and the World Bank established JSDF in year 2000 after Asian financial crisis to directly respond to the needs of the poorest and the most vulnerable group in developing countries. JSDF is a very unique facility. It aims to achieve sustainable development and to reduce poverty through a community-driven approach by closely collaborating with civil societies and local governments on the ground, and by leveraging their knowledge, experience, and network to the maximum extent. We will hear, in the case of Vietnam later in this seminar, about how this fund has benefited from collaboration with civil society and local governments, and how the projects have been implemented by them. Since its inception, JSDF has supported improving more than 700,000 livelihoods so far. Let me appreciate again the JSDF team for these achievements. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic and the worldwide food crisis caused by the Russian aggression against Ukraine are affecting the poorest and the most vulnerable people in developing countries. We strongly believe that this is a time that JSDF was created for, and to provide support to the poorest and the most vulnerable people. Today's seminar highlights JSDF's project in Vietnam, our Northern Mountain Integrated Child Nutrition Improvement Project, which has improved the nutrition status of children in the targeted village in Vietnam. I appreciate all the efforts of the colleagues of Save the Children, Ministry of Health of Vietnam, and the World Bank team for the successful implementation of this project. I'm delighted to hear their experience of this project today. I'm sure that hearing the JSDF team's experiences and lessons learned on site will be truly meaningful for us, for all of us. This brings me to the end of my opening speech, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tanabe, for your opening remarks. As mentioned already, at the each of the JSDF dialogue event, we feature one interesting project among many JSDF grants, and then go into deep insight of the project itself, and also listen to various stories from the people who are directly involved in preparing and implementing the project from the World Bank, implementing agency, etc. This evening and this afternoon, we are going to feature the Northern Mountain Integrated Child Nutrition Improvement Project in Vietnam. So first of all, among the various speakers coming up in the next 30, 40 minutes from those who are deeply involved in the implementation itself. Let us hear Christophe Lumiere, who is a program leader for the human development for Vietnam at the World Bank office, on behalf of the country management team for Vietnam to share the perspectives on the Vietnam and also project context. Christophe was about to join us from Paris, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. So we have a recorded message from Christophe. So let's listen to what Christophe needs to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear representatives of the government of Japan, of also the Japanese embassy in Vietnam, representatives from the World Bank, also representatives of other Japanese organizations, and representatives of Save the Children Vietnam and Save the Children Japan. And dear colleagues, as you can see, I'm unable to join you for this meeting today, which is extremely sad to me for many reasons. One reason is that we are extremely proud, to see that this project has been selected for this discussion with JSDF. That's really a strong signal for us. I'm also very sad, not to be there, because I know you will have quite interesting discussions about the results that have been achieved by this project, and they are really impressive. I know that you will go much further in the details and so on, but let me highlight at least 2 or 3 of these successes. The first one is the proportion of infants, 0 to 5 months of age that are fed exclusively with breast milk increased from about 17% at the baseline to 71% at endline, which is, of course, way above the target we had. Similarly, about 72% of pregnant women received at least 3 antenatal care visits, and this is the result that was achieved at the endline, and compared to only 11% at the baseline. So that's really impressive work that has been done here, and I wanted to really thank the project team, especially because they have done all these efforts in a complicated situation, with the COVID-19 period, all the social distancing, that came with that. So that's an additional challenge. Now, I also want to thank the teams from, of course, Save the Children Vietnam, Save the Children Japan, but also the Department of Maternal and Child Health at the Ministry of Health, and the project teams from Son La and Yen Bai provinces. They worked very hard on this, during the past 5 years. They also maintained very strong coordination and collaboration, which was not easy. Also, I would like to thank again the government of Japan, through their Japanese Social Development Fund, which provided, the necessary resources for implementing this project. Now, before concluding, just a few points I wanted to highlight. One is, I think it's important to insist again on the impact of improving nutritional status. It's not just a health issue. There is now enough evidence, to show that it has a huge impact on physical productivity, cognitive development, and of course, improved school outcomes. And this has, of course, an impact in turn on the overall productivity and economic growth. So that's really an extremely important intervention. I wanted also to mention that, of course, this is one project, but the team also has made sure that it could be replicated or at least mainstreamed in some other instruments. And this is what has been done, given that the approach has been introduced in the new National Targeted Program for Ethnic Minority, NTP SEDEMA. And so that's really an opportunity to replicate, this extremely successful intervention. And I would note also that the World Bank is supporting this NTP SEDEMA, through IBRD. Again, we have implemented quite a lot of JSDF projects, including 2 which were health projects. So it has been also a great opportunity for the bank. As you know, we work mainly with governments, but having this JSDF funding has given us the opportunity to work more with NGOs and communities, which is of course absolutely crucial to get results on the ground. So I can stop here. Again, thanks a lot to the Ministry of Health, the provincial authorities of Sonla and Yenbai provinces, to the Japanese government, of course, and Save the Children for this opportunity to collaborate with you. And I look forward to our continued collaboration to improve the health of the Vietnamese people. Thank you again, and I wish you great success for this event.
Thank you very much. That was Christophe Lumiere, who is a program leader for human development for Vietnam of the World Bank. Each of the JSDF project, in fact, not only JSDF, but all of the World Bank lending and other projects, we have a task team leader assigned to take care in terms of the preparation and implementation of the activities from the World Bank side. For this particular project, the task team leader is Juan Lan Dao, who is a senior health specialist at the World Bank Vietnam office, with us connecting from Hanoi. So let us hear Juan in terms of what the task team leader of this project needs to say. Juan, please.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. Dear ladies and gentlemen, representatives from the Japanese Government Ministry of Finance, representative from the Japan Social Development Bank, representative from the Maternal and Child Health Ministry of Health, colleagues and friends, ladies and gentlemen. So it's really my honor and proud to have this opportunity to present our project, the Vietnam Northern Mountain Integrated Child Nutrition Intervention today. I'm very lucky to have been with the project from the very first day of the project ideas development till the last day of the project's implementation. It is really a long journey, I should say, back to the project was initiated in 2014. So by that time, JSDF was very new to me, and working with a non-government organization was also really my new experience. So as Kochi just mentioned, the World Bank support to a country normally through official development aid, officially to the government, ministries and government institutions. So the JSDF has brought to us a new approach of working with NGO and empowering community and local people. So as its objective, the JSDF provides grants in support of community-driven development and poverty reduction projects that empower the poorest and most vulnerable groups not reached by other programs and improve their lives through direct benefits. So through this nutrition project, we had a chance to work with people in the most remote and disadvantaged areas in two poorest provinces in the northern mountain of Vietnam. We also had a chance to work with people at the village level, with mothers, families, community organizations, and more importantly, all of the project beneficiaries, almost all of them were ethnic minority people. You will hear more about the project in the next few minutes, but from the tax team leader's perspective, I would like to highlight a few things. So first, even Vietnam is very good in achieving SDGs and improving child nutrition in the last decade, and country stunting rate has decreased significantly from almost 30% in 2010 to 19% in 2020. The gap across different geographical areas and ethnic minority is still exists and even widened in the last 10 years. So data from the 2020 National Nutrition Survey showed that the under 5 stunting rate was 37.4 in northern uplands, the area of our two project provinces, while it was only about 10% in lowland areas like in Red River Delta region, where Hanoi is situated, and southeast area, where the Ho Chi Minh City is located. So I would like to confirm that our project was implemented in the very right place and addressed the right problems. So second, it was very obvious that close collaboration with the Light Ministry from the design phase and throughout the implementation period is very essential to achieve the project results. So interventions can be disseminated and scaled up widely after the project closed. All of the communication products, training documents, and guidelines were transferred to the Maternal and Child Health Department and have already been integrated in the government's related instructions. It was a strategic way to contribute to the sustainability of project results. I'm happy to see that we could invite the representatives from the Department of Maternal and Child Health, Ministry of Health, Dr. Hua, the Deputy Director, and Dr. Tuấn to join the meeting as a way to confirm their support to the project. So last but not least, the collaboration with the non-governmental organization proves to be very efficient for community-based projects. The project had an appropriate approach in working with the NGO in implementing pilot-scale activities in disadvantaged areas. As an NGO, the implementing agency had an advantage of working very closely with community people, providing hands-on training and support, and more importantly, providing very close supervision and monitoring of the project interventions. The NGO team was very dedicated to implementing the project with strong support from all its relevant technical staff, procurement, financial, administration, communication, and especially the country management team also pay a lot of attention to the project implementation. So once again, I would like to thank the project implementation team from the Save the Children Vietnam, Save the Children Japan, the Department of Maternal and Child Health, Ministry of Health, and the project teams from the project provinces. I will never forget our remarkable field supervisions and missions, where we can see in our eyes how the people changed the behavior and attitude and then changed their lives and their children's lives. I really hope that you, the delegations and participants of this seminar today, will have a chance in the future to actually see by your own eyes the project results. Actually, I was so emotional and happy to see the fathers cooking food for the little children and then feed them by themselves and help their wives in their home garden. So to me, it's really significant because it happened in the areas that you still know so many social issues persist, including early marriage, domestic violence against women, low educational level among women, and low social status of women. So I realized very clearly that we can only make the big difference in the future if we start doing small actions and changes today and every day. So we all know that it is a small project, but we all hope that it can be sustained, replicated, and at least it can make some changes, really changes among its beneficiaries in 20 communes of 4 districts in 2 provinces. So I'm currently managing another JSDF project in strengthening preparedness and response to COVID-19 at the grassroots level in Vietnam. I hope that my experience in working with this project will help me to continue success with the new project. So I should stop here and give the floor to the project implementation team. So I wish you all the good health and good success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was Hun Lan Dao, the task team leader for this project and the senior health specialist at the World Bank Vietnam office. By now, all of us, including myself, are so eager now to see how the project site would look like. We have a 5-minute video put together by the implementing partners. So all of us will have now more visual image of where the project was taking place. So let's enjoy the video.
Theo Tổng điều tra dinh dưỡng 2020, tại Việt Nam, cứ 5 trẻ dưới 5 tuổi sẽ có một em bị suy dinh dưỡng thấp còi, đối mặt nguy cơ bị tổn thương não và thể chất lâu dài. Tại các tỉnh miền núi phía Bắc, tỷ lệ này còn cao hơn, ở mức 37,4%. Một phần nguyên nhân do không phải người chăm sóc trẻ nào cũng có đầy đủ kiến thức về dinh dưỡng cũng như điều kiện kinh tế để cung cấp khẩu phần ăn đầy đủ cả về lượng và chất cho trẻ trong những năm đầu đời. Để cải thiện tình trạng này, Tổ chức Cứu trợ Trẻ Em hợp tác với Bộ Y tế và đối tác địa phương thực hiện dự án lồng ghép cải thiện dinh dưỡng trẻ em khu vực miền núi phía Bắc tại 2 tỉnh Yên Bái và Sơn La với tổng ngân sách 2,82 triệu đô la Mỹ từ Quỹ Phát triển Xã hội Nhật Bản thông qua Ngân hàng Thế giới. Tại địa bàn dự án, các bà mẹ có con nhỏ và phụ nữ mang thai được tham gia vào các buổi hướng dẫn về chăm sóc sức khỏe và dinh dưỡng hợp lý trong thời kỳ mang thai, cách nuôi con bằng sữa mẹ, cách chế biến các món ăn đầy đủ dinh dưỡng và phù hợp với độ tuổi của trẻ.
Mình được thăm khám từ lúc mình bắt đầu mang thai và được các chị nhân viên y tế ở đấy tư vấn hỗ trợ mình cách ăn uống, nghỉ ngơi, chế độ phù hợp cho bà bầu. Bây giờ thì khám thai ít nhất ở trạm chỉ không dưới 3 lần và còn được tiêm chủng ở đấy nữa nên là cảm thấy rất là thú vị, các con được phát triển một cách toàn diện hơn.
Dự án cũng có những can thiệp đặc thù cho hơn 3.000 trẻ bị suy dinh dưỡng cân nặng và thấp còi. Trẻ và người chăm sóc được tham gia vào trung tâm giáo dục và phục hồi dinh dưỡng. Tại đây, các gia đình được hướng dẫn cách chế biến bữa ăn giàu dinh dưỡng với nguồn thực phẩm sẵn có tại địa phương. Đối với những trẻ suy dinh dưỡng cấp tính nặng, không có biến chứng, trẻ được điều trị bằng chế phẩm ăn liền giàu dinh dưỡng. Dự án cũng góp phần cải thiện an ninh lương thực và dinh dưỡng thông qua đa dạng hóa các hoạt động nông nghiệp. Với sự hỗ trợ của dự án, hơn 6.000 hộ gia đình được hướng dẫn cách thực hành nông nghiệp cải tiến trong nuôi gà, trồng lúa, trồng rau và ủ phân hữu cơ. Nhờ đó, các hộ gia đình có thể tiếp cận nguồn cung lương thực phẩm đa dạng, có chất lượng tốt ngay tại nhà. Theo báo cáo cuối kỳ của dự án được thực hiện năm 2021, có hơn 93% số hộ có đủ rau ăn quanh năm, 98% số hộ có vườn rau gần nhà. Số gà trung bình trên một hộ tăng từ 20 con trước dự án đến 39 con khi dự án kết thúc. Những thay đổi tích cực này đóng góp cho việc cải thiện dinh dưỡng hàng ngày của hộ gia đình. Tỷ lệ hộ có con từ 6 đến 23 tháng tuổi có bữa ăn đủ 4 nhóm thực phẩm tăng từ 37,6% trước dự án đến 70,6% khi dự án kết thúc. Sau 5 năm thực hiện, những can thiệp dự án đã và đang tạo ra những thay đổi rõ rệt. Năm 2017, tỷ lệ thấp còi tại các xã dự án của tỉnh Yên Bái đối với bé trai là 73%, bé gái là 61%. Năm 2021, các tỷ lệ này giảm xuống còn 60% và 47%. Năm 2017, tỷ lệ thấp còi tại các xã dự án của tỉnh Sơn La đối với bé trai là 46%, bé gái là 36%. Năm 2021, các tỷ lệ này đều giảm xuống còn 27%. Một yếu tố quan trọng làm nên thành công của dự án là cách tiếp cận tổng hợp đa ngành, kết hợp 2 lĩnh vực chính là y tế và nông nghiệp.
Trong suốt thời gian mà triển khai dự án, tính từ năm 2017 cho đến năm 2021, cải thiện dinh dưỡng ở trẻ em có được cái kết quả như ngày hôm nay không phải là của riêng ngành y tế, ngành nông nghiệp phát triển nông thôn của tỉnh. Đặc biệt là những cái địa phương mà triển khai dự án thì có cái sự vào cuộc rất là tốt của các anh chị em làm khuyến nông để hỗ trợ cho đồng bào ở cái vùng mà hưởng lợi dự án.
Sự ủng hộ và tham gia nhiệt tình của người dân trong suốt thời gian triển khai tại địa bàn dự án là một trong những điểm sáng giúp dự án thành công và có tính lan tỏa trong cộng đồng.
Hội phụ nữ chúng tôi nhận được dự án của SC này thì cũng tuyên truyền được và các bà con tiếp thu được nhiều hơn. Trong tương lai dù dự án có kết thúc nhưng mình vẫn muốn mọi người tiếp tục duy trì để cho những đứa sau nó còn học theo để mà làm.
Dự án này là cũng hỗ trợ đó một phần nào đó để giúp các cháu hay là những người mang thai có đủ dinh dưỡng và sức khỏe cho các cháu.
Đây là một trong dự án mà rất đáng để nhân rộng ra đối với hai tỉnh toàn bộ Sơn La và Yên Bái, cũng như đối với các cái tỉnh khác có cái điều kiện tương đồng và khó khăn.
Tôi rất phấn khởi.
Cảm thấy rất là vui, mong dự án sẽ kéo dài hơn nữa.
Hãy chung tay để không còn trẻ em thấp còi ở Việt Nam.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful video put together by the Save the Children. Now we would like to ask Vuong Dean Diap, who is the director of the program implementation of the Save the Children Vietnam, to go deeper and share the perspectives of the implementers of this project. Vuong, please come in.
For just a minute, I'm starting to share the presentation. And today, I'm very happy to be here on behalf of Save the Children team in Vietnam. With me also Mr. Cảnh, the project manager who has been working for the project from the beginning to share the project information and results. And before this, again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank for the government of Japan and the World Bank to provide fund for this project. Thank you also the World Bank team in Vietnam, Department of Maternal and Child Health from the Ministry of Health, and the other partner in Vietnam, also Save the Children Japan, to provide support and cooperate with us during the last 5 years. And we have been successfully implemented the project. So this project, during the last few speech and the videos, we already see the name of the project. It's the Northern Martinez Integrated Nutrition Improvement Project, and we implemented in two projects in two provinces. In this presentation, I would like to present three key parts. One is on the project overview. The second one is on the achievement, impact, and lesson learned. And the last one is the sustainability, scalability, and the exit strategy of the project. The project objectives focus to improve the nutrition status of children under 5 in the target villages through the improving the child feeding practices, maternal and child care, and to diversify sources of nutrition of pregnant women, infants, and young children. The project beneficiaries include two groups. Primary beneficiaries are the children under 5, women of reproductive age, and pregnant women. And the secondary beneficiaries are the whole population of the people in the 4 districts. We implemented the project. So this project, we work in Sơn La and Yên Bái, and from Hanoi, where we have our office. It takes about 6 to 2 hours to 7 hours to go there. And we implemented this project since started from 2017 and ended by the December last year after 5 years. So in these two provinces, there are some significant information, including this high rate of poverty, the high prevalence of stunting children under 5, and the high percentage of ethnic minorities population. There are Hmong, Thai, Dao, and the other groups in those two districts. So 4 districts, 2 provinces. The project have 4 components. Component 1 is improving the food and nutrition security. In this component, we focus on 2 things. One, we diversify agricultural production, adopting the low-cash input agricultural techniques. So the focus on the chicken raising, nutrition, vegetable, system of rice intensification, and soybean cultivation. And the second focus is to promote the utilization of local available natural ingredients in those 20 communes, so that we can utilize local resources. The second component, the component 2, is to strengthen the community-based nutrition and care and practice. In this component, we focus on 5 things. First, to promote child growth monitoring at community. The second one is we provide support to mother-to-mother network, and also to organize, to help, we call it nutrition, education, and rehabilitation program, where we organize monthly activities. We also promote alternative to care in the community health center, again through the monthly days. We organize the action in the communities. We also provide a group or peer counseling, where we provide inclusive breastfeeding, also the infant and young child feeding days, and the other communication event in the community. And lastly, we also provided the integrated management of acute malnutrition program. So those are the key interventions in the component 2 to achieve, to promote the community-based nutrition and care and practice. For component 3, where we provide support to escalate up the policy platform at provincial level in order to replicate the integrated rural nutrition care approach. In this component, we advocate to integrate the nutrition sensitive agriculture model into the 5 years plan at provincial level by the Department of Agriculture and Forestry. The second one is we also advocate to mainstream the stunting rate reduction into the commune social economic development plan. So this we achieved in the old communes, 20 communes of the project. And last one, we also document lessons learned, and we also develop guidelines for the implementation of the agriculture-based nutrition approach to ensure that, or to replicate the project results and model to the other provinces. And this thanks to the strong support and also active action by the Department of Maternal and Child Health under Ministry of Health. We have already achieved some replication. The last project component focused on project management, application, monitoring, and evaluation, and knowledge dissemination. So where we ensure the day-to-day project management, we also ensure the regular monitor and project evaluation. In this one, we own the project stakeholder actively participated in the regulatory, including the Camille District and provincial partner, Department of Maternal and Child Health, World Bank teams in Vietnam, our Save the Children team, and also from Save the Children Japan. We, at the end of the project, we organized the dissemination workshops at 2 provinces, Sơn La and Yên Bái. We also organized one workshop in Hanoi, and during that period, there was the COVID situation, so we organized it online, but with participation from many provinces, so that we can share project results, but also we got some primary commitment to replicate project results. So the implementation arrangement of project, you can see in the slide that we have one project management unit at SC Save the Children office in Vietnam, with the technical support from Save the Children Japan. At the same time, there's also project management unit at the Maternal and Child Health Department, Ministry of Health. We work closely with the World Bank team Vietnam, led by Đào Lan Hương, and we also got very close support, and very active and also very positive support from World Bank team here. At provincial level, there's also one project management unit in each province, and down to the district and commune, there was project implementation teams set up. Now I'd like to present the achievement, impact, and lesson learned from this project. In terms of the target and achievement, I think already in the statement by the representative from World Bank, also the video already show the achievement. I will not read the detail of each indicator. Overall, we have 4 project development objectives and 8 immediate project results objective, and all project indicators we achieve at least as targeted. And some of the indicator we achieve 2, 3, 4, and 5 times rather than target. So for us, it's really the great achievement after the 5 years. I would like to go into a bit in more detail to show you on the impact related to the improvement of the nutrition status of the children under 5. You can see here the diagram compare the baseline in 2017 and by the end of the project. And I would like to focus on the stunting situation. At the beginning, there was 67% of children in Yên Bái, and more than 40% of children in Sơn La were stunting. It's a stunting situation. And in average, you can see that there was more than half, like every 2 children, there's 1 children malnutrition. By the end of the project, if we look at each province, Yên Bái has been reduced from 67 to 53%. And in Sơn La, the reduction is from 41% to 27. So we all know that if the stunting rate is under 30, it means that situation is still need intervention. And so in Sơn La, I think we can see that the achievement is quite good, but the situation in Yên Bái, we can see that there's still needed for the further intervention. And in overall, project achieved to reduce the situation from 67 to 40%. That's the impact we would like to highlight in this presentation. For the lesson learned, there's quite many lesson learned. We already discussed with different stakeholders in project, and we agree with those key points. The first one is clearly that the nutrition issue cannot be solved by the health sector. but there's close link between the health and agriculture sector so that we can achieve the project result. The second one is really from one of the very significant achievement we see that from this project is on the communication, how we communicated, we transfer the knowledge and skills to the local people, local partner, and also local communities. So in this project we develop natural and we use local language. We prepare that with consideration of local culture. We organize peer-to-peer communication. And also we have a word-of-mouth approach, so we provide directly communication at community level. There's also very close and frequent supervision, as I mentioned before, like every 6 months there's monitoring visit by World Bank team in Vietnam. Our team at Save the Children, we have every month we have several trips working with the partner and community. And our team actually spend most of their time with the community and with partner in 2 provinces. The other one is on the suitability of the project. So we really develop the project based on the people needs. We have consultation carefully at the beginning and also during the project implementation. We make some adjustment needed to make sure that the project fit with the local condition and also the need. We design very careful monitoring and evaluation. We also, during the project implementation, we also discuss closely with World Bank to adapt and to adjust the project indicator to ensure that it's the right track and so we can monitor and achieve the right results. We also see ourselves that the role of Save Children, like Daran Hương said before, we believe that the role of INGO, including this case, Save Children, play a very important role to deliver the project to the community level. There's also very clear and important cooperation from the ministry level, in this case, the Ministry of Health and particularly the Department of Maternal and Children Health. We consider project sustainability and replication from the beginning and during the project implementation. That's why before the project goes out, we already discussed with the project local partner how to hand over project result and also maintain the project result after the project. That's the last point on the lesson learned is also on the mother and mother network where we set up those networks at the community. In terms of sustainability, scalability, and exit strategy, I mentioned before that before the project goes, we discussed with 2 provinces, and there's concrete plan by each province, by each district, to ensure that project result will be continue, will be integrated in the existing and coming government programs such as National Nutrition Strategy, National Strategy on preventing stunting among ethnic minority children, and so on. There's also a plan to ensure that the project, the trained health and agriculture staff at district and community level will be continue to provide training to the other staff at the community and district level. All the material we develop using project will be used by the project partner, but also by Save Children, by ourselves, so that we can also use for the other similar project by Save the Children in Vietnam. All the equipment also we handed over to the community and district so that they can continue to use for the existing work. At national level, there's, I mentioned before that we organize the sharing workshop with the most of the other provinces to replicate project result. Save the Children also share document lesson learned with the other NGO, with National Institute of Nutrition, and that's also very high recommended by those network to further look into the model, and then they can also replicate to their project and the other location as well. The last one is on the guideline we developed for the implementation of agriculture-based nutrition approach. Also, we developed, and then it will be used. Dr. Kwa from the Department of Maternal and Child Health Care have a very strong commitment to communicate with the other department so that those documents can be used widely. Now I would like to spend the last 1 minute so that Mr. Kang, the project manager, could tell you one case story from the project.
Yeah, hi everyone. I would like to tell you about a story about a child in one project commune in Mộc Châu district and in Sơn La province relating to the IMAM program. Because his parents work far away to earn money, so he stay with his grandfather. And when health staff screen all children under 5 years old, he was identified as a severely acute malnourished children, and he joined the IMAM program, the support by the project. After the 8 weeks joined this program, he was recover his nutrition status and his MUAC. It means mid upper arm circumference. Is one indicator the measure the resting for children, and his MUAC increase 12.1 to 13, and he was discharged from the IMAM program. Yeah, there is one successful case in IMAM in our project. So thank you so much.
So if you have any questions, please do ask, and I believe that our colleagues from Shift the Children in Japan will also provide some further comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Bon Dinh Gap, director of the program implementation Save the Children in Vietnam, and I understand Mr. Khan from the team also shared the story from the beneficiaries. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to ask Dr. Tran Dang Kwar, who is the Deputy Director of the Department of Maternal and Child Health as a co-implementing agency and partner of this project from the Ministry of Health Vietnam, to share the perspectives from the government of Vietnam Ministry of Health. Dr. Kwar, please come in.
Vâng, kính thưa tất cả các quý quan khách đại diện cho chính phủ Nhật Bản, tổ chức World Bank và SC, các quý vị đại biểu tham dự cuộc họp ngày hôm nay. Thay mặt Bộ Y tế, trước hết rất là trân trọng cảm ơn chính phủ Nhật Bản, World Bank, SC và các tổ chức cũng đã hỗ trợ cho một dự án cải thiện dinh dưỡng, lồng ghép cải thiện dinh dưỡng của các tỉnh miền núi phía Bắc và đã vừa mới kết thúc.
So, dear representative from the Japanese government, the World Bank and Save the Children organization, on behalf of the Ministry of Health, we'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks to your dedication and support in the last meaningful project on the integrated children nutrition intervention.
Một dự án có cái nguồn kinh phí không lớn, nhưng đặc điểm là hỗ trợ kỹ thuật và triển khai các lớp đào tạo, tập huấn, giám sát rất là sát thực và đã đem lại cái hiệu quả rất lớn như anh Giáp và anh Cảnh cũng đã trình bày, tôi không nhắc lại. Tuy nhiên thì với phía Bộ Y tế đánh giá rất cao về cái hiệu quả và cái tác động của dự án này đối với trẻ em của 2 tỉnh dự án Sơn La và Yên Bái, và cả đối với phụ nữ mang thai và đối với cả người dân cũng như là cán bộ y tế tham gia vào dự án.
So we really appreciate not only the grant itself, but the technical support, the trainings, extensive training that we receive along the project journey that create pragmatic and long-lasting impacts, not only on the children, the primary beneficiaries of the project, and the reproductive women and pregnant women, but also the entire population, medical professionals, and the community as a whole.
Dự án với thời gian cũng tương đối dài do rất khó khăn bởi dịch bệnh Covid. Tuy nhiên thì với sự hỗ trợ và đặc biệt sự phối hợp rất chặt chẽ của Ngân hàng Thế giới, chị Hương, của tổ chức SC, anh Cảnh, anh Giáp cũng như là vụ chúng tôi cùng với đội ngũ cán bộ làm công tác quản lý dự án ở các cái tỉnh. Do vậy là với sự quyết tâm, sự hỗ trợ và sự đoàn kết cũng như là sự phối hợp chặt chẽ thì đã đem lại cái kết quả dự án rất là đáng mừng ngày hôm nay.
So the project was also challenged by the pandemic as it nears the end. However, with the dedicated support from the World Bank, with the Ms. Hương as the task team leader, with the collaboration from Save the Children via Mr. Cảnh, Mr. Giáp, and especially the project team in the participating provinces, we have weathered all those challenges and brought the project to the end successfully, and so that we are here today to celebrate its successes.
Điều tôi vừa nói, đấy cũng là cái bài học kinh nghiệm mà để triển khai được một dự án có hiệu quả thì phải có sự phối hợp chặt chẽ của tất cả các bên liên quan thì mới triển khai hiệu quả.
And our key takeaway from this project is the close collaboration across different stakeholders, and we really appreciate such like partner collaboration so far.
Chúng tôi đánh giá rất cao về các cái kết quả, các cái chỉ số của thực hiện dự án về cải thiện tình trạng dinh dưỡng cho trẻ em, về các cái thành phần về an ninh lương thực, cải thiện bữa ăn gia đình, và đặc biệt nữa là có cái sự cải thiện được cái năng lực, kinh nghiệm của đội ngũ cán bộ tham gia dự án từ trung ương cho đến địa phương.
And we appreciate this different aspect of the project outcomes, spanning from improved nutrition for the primary beneficiaries and also the food security for the broader population, and also the improved capacity across the local and central stakeholders.
Để có cái thành công dự án chúng tôi cũng nhận định thấy rằng đó là cái sự thiết kế của dự án rất phù hợp với các cái đối tượng thụ hưởng dự án, cũng như là chọn các cái vùng mà khó khăn, những vùng mà họ cần can thiệp, và chúng ta đã có những cái can thiệp đơn giản, hiệu quả và có cái sự hỗ trợ kỹ thuật rất là sát sao.
And that success can be attributed to the proper design of the project, also the correct project site selection. Those are the regions that are most in need of this intervention, and also the valuable technical support from Japanese partners and Vietnamese partners.
Một cái kết quả dự án cũng minh chứng thấy rằng mà để cải thiện được cái tình trạng dinh dưỡng của trẻ em cũng như là phụ nữ có thai, cần phải sự phối hợp của tất cả các cái cơ quan ban ngành trong địa bàn can thiệp, và đặc biệt là phải sự phối hợp lồng ghép giữa hai thành phần đó, y tế và nông nghiệp, thì đã đem lại cái hiệu quả rất cao đối với dự án.
And the project outcome is a testimony to the necessity for collaboration between different sectors in improving the nutrition for children and mothers, including the shared responsibilities between the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
Các cái kết quả của dự án đem lại về các chỉ số thì tôi không nhắc lại, nhưng chúng tôi cũng mong muốn rằng các kết quả này cũng rất là đáng để chúng ta xem xét và nhân rộng trong 2 tỉnh của dự án. Ở đây phạm vi của dự án mới là triển khai thí điểm ở một số cái địa bàn mà trước hết cần phải nhân rộng ra toàn tỉnh của Sơn La và Yên Bái. Và mặt khác, Bộ Y tế cũng sẽ xem xét về cái kết quả của dự án, các cái mô hình can thiệp phối hợp giữa nông nghiệp và y tế để có thể triển khai một số các cái tỉnh khác có điều kiện kinh tế xã hội, địa lý tương đồng với Sơn La và Yên Bái trong cái thời gian tới.
And I do hope that the project's good practices and outcomes can be scaled up and rolled out to a broader range of localities, because as part of this project we could only touch 4 districts of the 2 provinces, and hopefully other localities in Yên Bái and Lào Cai, in these 2 provinces, Yên Bái and Sơn La, can also benefit from this. And in the meantime, the Ministry of Health is also taking stock of the joint collaboration models between the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to roll out to more provinces.
Tại buổi tổng kết về đánh giá kết thúc của dự án thì chúng tôi cũng đã đề nghị phía chị Hương, World Bank cũng như là tổ chức SC nghiên cứu tìm kiếm các cái nguồn lực để hỗ trợ nhân rộng cái mô hình triển khai của dự án mà rất hiệu quả này. Thì ngày hôm nay chúng tôi Bộ Y tế cũng xin đề nghị chính phủ Nhật Bản cũng như là World Bank, tổ chức SC tìm kiếm các nguồn đầu tư để hỗ trợ cho chúng tôi nhân rộng dự án cũng như nhân rộng ra một số các cái tỉnh khác tương đồng.
In our project closing stock-taking review workshop, we also shared with the representative from the World Bank, Ms. Hương, and from the Save the Children about our aspiration for rolling out this project to more districts within Yên Bái and Sơn La, and also to other provinces. And on this occasion, I would like to reiterate these wishes that our project can touch more lives and communities across different provinces in Vietnam. And for that, we will count on the Japanese government, the World Bank, and Save the Children for your kind support.
Một lần nữa thì thay mặt phía vụ Sức khỏe bà mẹ trẻ em Bộ Y tế Việt Nam xin trân trọng cảm ơn chính phủ Nhật Bản, World Bank và SC cũng đã hỗ trợ cho cái dự án này rất là triển khai rất là hiệu quả, và mong rằng trong thời gian tới các bạn tiếp tục hỗ trợ và chúng tôi cũng sẽ sẵn sàng cam kết là sẽ triển khai hiệu quả, phối hợp với các bên chặt chẽ nếu như mà được có cái phần kinh phí cũng như tài trợ. Xin trân trọng cảm ơn và kết thúc cái bài phát biểu của tôi.
So in closing, we'd like to again express our appreciation to the Japanese government, the World Bank, and Save the Children, and look forward to our continued collaboration. And from the Department of Maternal and Child Health, we would renew our commitment and efforts if we can secure new sources of funding to roll out this project and touch upon more beneficiaries and expand our range of beneficiaries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We had a pleasure of having Dr. Tran Dang Kwok, Deputy Director of the Department of Maternal and Child Health from the Ministry of Health, Vietnam. Thank you very much, Dr. Kwok. We have our last speaker, Mr. Kosuke Nagino, who is the Program Coordinator from the Save the Children Japan, joining us from Tokyo side to share the perspectives from the Save the Children Japan. Nagino-san, please.
Thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Kosuke Nagino. I'm a program coordinator of international programs of Save the Children Japan. On behalf of Save the Children Japan, we also would like to express sincere appreciation to the Japanese government and World Bank. And also, I'd like to say thank you to the Ministry of Health in Vietnam for the project implementation. Yeah, we had close collaboration with the Ministry of Health. So yeah, I'd like to express deep appreciation as well. And during the project implementation, Save the Children Japan has supported technical aspect of the project. And from Save the Children Japan, we'd like to stress 2 points regarding the project outcome. The first of all, multi-sectoral approach. The Japanese government nutrition initiatives have focused on multi-sectoral approach. The project lessons learned could be a useful example for the Japanese ODS stakeholders, including in the delivery of Japan's commitment of over $2.8 billion to improve nutrition made at the Tokyo Nutrition for Growth Summit last year. Lessons learned from the project can be applied not only to the multi-sectoral approach between agriculture and health, but also the effective implementation structure at the central, provincial, district, and commune levels. That is first point. The second point is social behavior change communication strategy approach of the project. During the project explanation from my colleague in Vietnam, they mentioned the suitability of our approach. This is quite important for better understanding of the local tradition to effectively develop beneficiaries' skills and knowledge of maternal and child nutrition care in target areas. The project conducted formative research in the field. And through the research, we were able to get a deep understanding of the local tradition and culture linked with maternal and child nutrition through the research. Then we developed a strategy of social behavior change communication for ethnic minorities. This was an important strategy, important approach to developing IEC materials and training manuals, and to extending new skills and knowledge among local people. For example, Hmong ethnic minorities doesn't have own characters, so project develop the IEC materials and training manuals using a lot of pictures to be easily understood by the beneficiaries. That is also a point. So then we would like to stress this approach for effective and sustainable nutrition improvement based on their tradition and culture. I do believe this approach can be applicable to other health and nutrition projects. Yes, so other behavior change of the beneficiaries. For example, in the beginning of the project, one family just provides very simple porridge to their babies, but at the end of the project, the families provide also porridge, but it's not simple porridge. It includes a vegetable and meat, something like that. So it became very nutritious food. So those changes made after at the end of the project, that is quite important. So we'd like to stress those 2 points. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nagino-san, for sharing your perspectives on behalf of the Save the Children Japan. For the next 15 minutes or so, I would like to propose to use our time in this way. We received several questions from viewers, so let me read those questions, and then I'll double check, with the colleagues gathered in this room if you have any comment and questions, and then I'll ask our speakers from the Vietnam side to respond to some of the questions, and then perhaps in the order of Dr. Dr. Kaur and then Moon from the implementing agency side. And then I would ask also Moon from the TTL perspective to share your views. Then we wrap up the seminar. So let me introduce the question that we received in advance. First of all, the question from Nam-san. Thank you very much for your question. What were the main challenges for the Vietnamese Ministry of Health National Strategy on Nutrition 2011 to 2020 in terms of reaching poor and remote ethnic minority groups in spite of its successful implementation? So perhaps if Dr. Kao later can respond to this point, that would be great. Thank you very much. And then another question from Nam. The project component for strengthening community-based nutrition care and practice is set to overcome the superstitious beliefs. What are those superstitious beliefs that deferred the improvement of child nutrition? So that was the second question. And then one more question. Is there a specific reason why the prevalence of waste among boys in Yen Bai has increased after the project implementation, 7% in 2017 to 7.9% in 2021? So that was another question. And then a question from our regular anonymous participant who sent question enthusiastically all the time to our online seminar. Thank you for your joining this afternoon also. The beneficiaries are characterized as the poor and remote ethnic minority groups, which were mainly dependent on subsistence farming in a very small plot. The project seems to focus on subsistence farming. Does the project include cash income for transaction to gain food such as seafood, which expands the possibly varieties of nutrition and difficult to get in the high mountain area? And that was the first question. Then one more question from the same person. Dialogue among ethnic minorities, ethnic minority mothers, village health workers, and women union staff was mentioned. How did the process for dialogue at the community level, including men or males, happen, if any? Did any discussion happen related to agriculture renewal, accessibility to health services, and the decisions related to livelihood, division and role of labor in farming and lifestyle? So involvement of men, that was the question. So before turning to our speakers from Vietnam side, I'd like to check if anyone in this room in Tokyo side have any comment or views to share. No? Okay. Then perhaps Dr. Kaur, can you come in to say a few words on the challenges that you faced with in terms of the national strategy on nutrition 2011 and to 2020. So Dr. Kao, please.
Vâng, kính thưa tất cả các quý vị tham dự cuộc họp. Đấy là thách thức khi của Việt Nam khi mà triển khai cái chiến lược dinh dưỡng của giai đoạn 2011-2020. Nhất đó là ở cái giai đoạn này thì về các cái can thiệp về dinh dưỡng đang gặp phải là thiếu nguồn lực, kể cả về ngân sách, kể cả về kinh nghiệm triển khai cũng như là các cán bộ y tế. Đặc biệt nữa là người dân vẫn còn cái tình trạng là thiếu ăn, thiếu lương thực, thực phẩm. Và một đặc điểm nữa thách thức đó là cái kiến thức, cái thực hành về phòng chống suy dinh dưỡng, về nuôi con, về cho con bú sữa mẹ hoàn toàn, cũng như là dinh dưỡng đối với phụ nữ có thai cũng đều ở cái mức hạn chế. Mà do vậy cái chiến lược dinh dưỡng của giai đoạn đấy đã gặp phải những cái thách thức mà trong cái can thiệp về để thực hiện chiến lược mà chúng tôi đã tập trung vào các cái nhiệm vụ này.
Yes, when we start implementing the National Nutrition Strategy 2011-2020, at that time we were faced with many structural and fundamental challenges, like the food insecurity still prevalent among the population, and second, the poor knowledge and practices among the citizens, both in the raising children, including the very simple basics like exclusive breastfeeding or prenatal care for pregnant women, and it's even worsened by outdated or like obsolete customs and beliefs, and also the nutrition interventions face shortage of resources across all aspects, including funding, budget, experience, capacity of the implementing agencies and individuals. So that's also the key focus that we address under this project, those structural challenges. Thank you.
Một thách thức nữa khi thực hiện cái chiến lược này là chúng tôi gặp phải là mọi cái công tác phòng chống suy dinh dưỡng thì gần như là được ủy thác giao cho ngành y tế, nhưng thực tế tất cả các cái nghiên cứu khoa học, các cái can thiệp đều chứng minh rằng để can thiệp phòng chống suy dinh dưỡng hiệu quả, đấy là không phải là nhiệm vụ riêng của ngành y tế mà là nhiệm vụ chung của toàn xã hội, của mọi người dân, của các cấp các ngành, tức là phải có sự phối hợp của đa ngành thì mới giảm được cái tình trạng suy dinh dưỡng.
And another challenge we face is that there is a notion that nutrition improvement is exclusive responsibilities of the health sector. So it's deemed to be our role only. However, researchers and practical evidence show that it should be a joint collaboration among different sectors or an interdisciplinary effort to address this issue. The health sector alone cannot complete it without the collaboration of other sectors and other walks of life in the society.
Như chúng ta cũng biết, cái kết quả của dự án này đó là cái sự phối hợp của thành phần y tế, nông nghiệp và đặc biệt ở dưới địa phương là có sự phối hợp của đa ngành, của các hội phụ nữ, nông dân, rồi các cấp các ngành đã cho chúng ta thấy cái hiệu quả can thiệp của dự án là rất là cao. Đấy là một cái minh chứng bằng chứng khoa học.
As I highlighted previously, this project's outcome can be attributed to such interdisciplinary and intersectoral collaboration at the between the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, and at local level we also benefit from the support from different areas like the Women's Union, the Farmers Union, even the Agriculture Extension units, etc., and that all contributes to the project's outcomes.
Tôi xin chia sẻ một số các cái thách thức mà khi thực hiện cái chiến lược dinh dưỡng ở giai đoạn trước. Tuy nhiên thì đến giai đoạn tới này thì chúng tôi cũng đã có những cái nhìn tổng quát hơn, rút được kinh nghiệm của các cái giai đoạn trước và sẽ có những cái hoạt động, những cái can thiệp và sẽ tạo ra một cái hiệu quả hơn đối với can thiệp về phòng chống suy dinh dưỡng. Xin cảm ơn ạ.
Yeah, so that's the challenges that we faced in the previous period strategy, and learning hard lesson from that period. In the new coming phase, we will address. We have partially addressed those challenges, and will take a planning ahead perspective in implementing our new nutrition strategy, so that we will not be constrained by those.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ko, for your responses. Boon, please come in to respond to the questions raised by our viewers. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Anh Cảnh, you want to
Yeah,
respond?
I will respond for question 2. From the recent baseline survey and when we implement the project in Sơn and in Bai, we found that in project size, the villager have some custom not good for health nutrition practice, such as first the mother don't go to health facility to pregnant checkup because especially young people, they very shy when they go to the health facility. The second, the mother diet have a diet during the pregnancy and after the giving birth. They diet some food, for example, some kind of meat or some kind of vegetable. The third, the mother work until the birth. Some people, sometimes they give a birth in the field. It means that they have a hard work until the birth. The fourth, they give a birth at home. The result from baseline survey shows that the rate of birth at home is around 50%, especially in Trạm Tấu district. This rate is 89%. Yeah. The fifth, the mother usually squeeze out the cotton before the first breastfeeding, and the last, the mother usually back to hard work in the field 1 month after the giving birth. Yeah. Based on this information, our project already designed the IC method and implement BBC activity to improve this. Yeah, thank you so much.
And in terms of the question on the why the prevalence of wasting among boys in Myanmar has increased. So this based on the collected information from some online data and baseline. Actually, to be very honest, we couldn't really know why, because this only came up after we finalized the report, and we think that we need to have a further collecting information and also discuss to really understand why. But at least this is the fact based on the collected information. I don't know, even Khoa, you know from the other experience, maybe in case something similar, or if you from World Bank, you also observe similar situation in the other situation or not. Thank you.
Yeah, I just thanks for picking it up. But I think we may need to go back to the original data to see whether the difference is significant. If not, so maybe it's not an issue. But anyway, the team will go back to the analysis and check the data. Thank you for picking it up.
Okay, thank you very much. So I just wanted to double check with Hun, if you have any additional comment from TTL's perspective as you are listening to Q&A section.
No, I think Dr. Khoa and Mr. Kang and the team of the SC team already addressed the questions. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. We do have actually 3-4 minutes left. I would like to ask Doug to come in to share your views, as you are listening to this conversation.
No, thank you very much for this session. This is very personal. I have a 5 months baby girl at home who's being 100% breastfed, so I was listening very intently. It's really wonderful to see these impressive results. in terms of health outcomes, and that you've overachieved all of these outcomes, and that you're reaching so many children of ethnic minorities. I said earlier, it takes a village. I think in this case, the village is a global village between Washington and Tokyo and Hanoi and Yenbai and Sonla provinces. So congratulations to all of you. I have a question that is similar to a question that was asked before, and maybe it's a question to Huang at the World Bank and Vuong and colleague at Save the Children Vietnam. I noticed that despite the overachievement of the targets, the stunting rate in Yenbai is still above 50%, which is it's a very, very high number. And I was wondering why that is. I assume that, of course, given limited resources, you could only reach a certain number of families and children, and the rate probably applies to the entire population. So I think that's the answer. But if that's the case, then what would it take to bring the project that has been so successful to scale in Yenbai province? What would it take? Is it financial resources? Is it changing the way agricultural policies are conducted, health policies are conducted? That's my question.
Thank you, Dirk, for your intervention. So let us hear the Moon and Juan to make a comment on Dirk's point. But also, when you make a comment, this should be your final remarks, as we are going to wrap up soon. So please combine your final remarks together.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Dirk, for your question. It is really our own concern. And as I already made in my point, I mentioned that Vietnam made a very good progress in terms of achieving SDG, in terms of reducing the children, the overall stunting among children. And if you noticed, Vietnam is not a priority country, even for Japan, in addressing malnutrition at the beginning. But then the number, because of high number of children in Vietnam, so the absolute number is about 1 million children suffering from malnutrition. And then we could success to get the intention of the Japanese fund for tackling malnutrition in Vietnam. So the problem is the gaps between the mountainous and the lowland area, the gaps between the majority and the minority. So I think I already mentioned that the rate is even. I mean, the difference is almost 40% in northern upland to only 10% in lowland areas. And in lowland, even now, the issues of child obesity has been becoming a problem. I mean, like in big cities, like in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. So the double burden of malnutrition is really an issue. So I think in the coming time, the approach from the government should be focused. I mean, have the different interventions and to be more focused on addressing the gap, at the same time addressing the malnutrition among children in mountainous and ethnic minority, but also to think about addressing obesity for children in the big cities, which the rate is big, higher and higher. So the lesson from this project, as I mentioned, is very can be applicable. And Vietnam has starting, as Dr. Hoa mentioned, included the lesson learned from the project into the action plan on tackling malnutrition and child stunting in ethnic minorities, and also included in the national targeted program on socio-economic development for ethnic minority. So health and nutrition is one component of this. So as the conclusion, I think we really hope that nutrition is the need across collaboration. Nutrition needs, the intersectoral collaborations and joint hand from all different stakeholders, development partners, and your support, but also the efforts from the country itself, from the people themselves in Vietnam and in those areas. So we continue to work with this agenda. It's not the end. So we hope that we will keep maintaining the success of the project, keep maintaining this work, and to expand it further to tackling the issues, the chronic issues in Vietnam. I also noticed that there are some questions that have been really addressed. So maybe after this meeting, our team will answer by email and also to share the presentations with the wider participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Boon, any final words from you, please?
Thank you. Yes. So from our perspective, one from different projects, we see that reduced stunting is really take time. It's really a challenge because of several reasons we explained before. So I think one of the reasons also to get attention from all stakeholders, even in this project, where after just some year and even at the end, we can recognize that, okay, we achieved good result. But then this was a time project end. So now we ensure the integration of stunting indicator into the plan by the local, but we also wish that in the other area, the similar action can be also taken by the local government. So that's one of the issues we also learn, and we also now working with in the other project we have by our resource. And nutrition, I think last month we had a field trip with the National Institute of Nutrition, and we discussed and we see that there are several smaller locations, like some village, some commune in one district, one province. We need really to spend more resources. At the moment, the kind of equal investment maybe is not enough, but we do need much more resources needed for those areas. And sometimes it's quite hard because in one district, in one province, maybe there are only 5 communes. And it's in kind of situation. We need to have another way. So this project can really be a good example how we incorporate between the health and the agriculture, but can also be the other actor to really push the action in the day-to-day by the local government, but also by the other stakeholders. So again, for Safe Children, we learn from this project. We also discuss with the other stakeholders and even bring with the more way of working and more initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In closing the conversation, first of all, I would like to thank the representatives from the Ministry of Finance, Tanabe-san and Yamamoto-san, and then Shirasa-san and Hyokai-san from the Japanese DD's office staying on and joining us this conversation throughout the session. Thank you very much. Also, we had more than 50 people watching this seminar, from all over Japan, from different sectors, civil society, academia, and the private sector and government agencies. Thank you very much for watching the seminar today. I'd like to conclude this seminar. We organize so many interesting online seminars, so please check our website for further information. With that, stay safe, stay healthy, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much, and then see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you and bye-bye.